This plant, native to North America, produces a delicious tropically flavored fruit and a toxin that is used in modern chemotherapy drugs. The entire plant is toxic if eaten, including the fruit, if eaten when it's green. But once the fruit ripens, it becomes this soft, delicate, fragrant, tropically flavored fruit. So how does a poisonous woodland plant produce an edible fruit? And also, what does that have to do with cancer treatment? Today we're talking about what possibly is North America's strangest fruit, the Mayapple. Most people have never even heard of Mayapple or seen a Mayapple in person. And this is partly because the Mayapple hides the fruit underneath these umbrella-shaped leaves. Then there are some people that have heard of Mayapple and they're rightly nervous about it because of the toxic nature that I mentioned before. And then there is a small group of people that know how delicious it is and when it's safe to eat. And they look forward to that time when that ripe yellow fruit becomes available. The Mayapple is native to North America, growing zones 3 all the way to 8. And so that means it's found from southern Canada all the way to Florida and as far west as Texas, and all throughout the forests of the eastern United States coast. The plant prefers shade. It can survive in kind of a partial shade environment, which means you're going to find it along the edges of forests, along the slopes, as well as along stream beds. Most of the plants will not produce a flower or a fruit. A young plant will often just produce one stem and one leaf. The older and more mature it gets, it will produce one stalk with 2 stems that have a leaf on each, and in between those 2 stems is where the blossom appears. And the blossom is actually where the plant gets its name from, because it looks like an apple blossom. Eventually, later in the summer, that blossom develops into a fruit. The scientific name is Podophyllum peltatum, which means foot-shaped leaf, and peltatum means shield-shaped. And so it sort of does look like a little hand holding a shield on some plants. It's not risky to touch a Mayapple. The danger comes in ingesting it. And that means everything. The leaves, the stems, the stalk, the flower, the roots, the rhizome, and yes, the unripe fruit. Mayapple contains a toxin known as podophyllotoxin. And podophyllotoxin prevents cell division. And so that's why cancer scientists use it in developing chemotherapy drugs, because it prevents cancer from dividing. But I hate to break it to you, there is no home cooked up remedy that makes it possible to use any aspect of this plant in a home cancer treatment, because the podophyllotoxin is then separated out and reductions from it are made in laboratory conditions. And then even then, the dosing is very specific. So there's no way that you could cook up something in your house. While it's developing, the fruit of the Mayapple is bright green and quite firm. And apparently it also is very unpleasant to eat, both the flavor and the results, because it causes considerable gastrointestinal distress, meaning diarrhea and vomiting. So don't eat it when it's green. And when you compare a ripe fruit next to one that is not ripe, it's pretty easy to spot. The ripe fruit is soft and yellow, and like I said, the unripe fruit is firm and green. When testing new foraged foods, never do it alone, and never eat very much. Maybe just a tiny, tiny taste, and then wait to see if you have a reaction, because you might simply have a food allergy. The food might be perfectly safe, but you might be allergic to it. So be smart about how you test new foods. All right, so let's talk about what it tastes like. When a Mayapple is ready to be eaten, you can see that it is yellow and it is very soft. In fact, in some instances, you'll notice that it even kind of turns brown, almost like a ripe banana brown. In contrast, the unripe fruit is green and very firm. Now, let's talk about tasting it. You can see the insides are very soft and juicy. All right, so now for the description of the flavor. The flavor is, well, so it's a sweet, acidic, kind of like a pineapple, passion fruit, citrusy flavor. And I think it's worth the wait. Definitely. Mayapple looks abundant in the spring with all of the green shield-shaped leaves, but actually it hides very few little fruit, which is part of the reason why people often don't know that it even exists. That fruit is a significant tool in combating cancer in some of the most important chemotherapy drugs. And ironically, after all of this, it produces an edible, delicious, tropically flavored fruit that's possibly North America's strangest fruit, containing a toxin called something that I can't remember because my brain has phyllotoxin on it. All right, let's see. As far west as Texas and all along the eastern coast. I don't even know what I'm saying. Is Podophyllum peltatum. Knew I was going to mess that one up. It causes considerable gastrointestinal distress, meaning vomiting and diarrhea. Thanks, Cooper. We're gonna have to take a break here. Got any more? Well, to the 10 people that made it this far in the video, thank you. I also want to say that the subscribers to this channel are a uniquely nice bunch of people, and the dialogue that happens between comments is exceptional. Thank you. It's kind of uncommon in this world. If you have any questions, thoughts, please share them in the comments section. And as always, if you liked this video, you might like these.